want to spend just a few minutes discussing sites and the way you use our website in relationship to your sites. For those people who have been in this game a long time, you're going to find this a bit simplistic. But we had to come up with a way that everybody could use the site with just a little rudimentary information. So, in the case of handguns, the vast majority of sites will be listed as either adjustable or fixed. And I have some examples of each here so that you know the difference. To start off with, we'll go with a fixed site. This is a replica of the Colt 1873. It is a Ruger Vaquero. Okay, you'll notice there's a groove right here along the top strap. Hopefully the video camera's picking that up. And you've got a shark's tooth fin shaped front sight right here. Okay, this is a fixed front sight, or fixed sights, excuse me. Now, there is a narrow channel version of the early Colts where this is really skinny right here and then flares out up above. Similar to this, but not the same. So just showing you the difference, that is a fixed, these are fixed sights. Now, another one for the purposes of our site that are listed as fixed, we'll go with this 40 Smith & Wesson semi-automatic. These sights, for the purposes of our website, are also listed as fixed. However, if you look here, you'll see that both the front and the rear sight are in dovetails, and they can be pushed sideways either direction. Okay, you cannot adjust this gun for elevation. You know, in other words, you can't, if you're shooting low, you can't change the sight and get it to shoot higher or vice versa. However, you can push these sights to the side to make what are called windage adjustments. This will still be called a fixed sight because without the proper tools, you probably shouldn't mess with these. But again, they're fixed sights, but under the special notes, you may see these listed as windage adjustable, which is what they are. But they are truly a fixed sight for the purposes of the MyGunValue website. We have another example of the trough in the top strap here. This one's a Smith & Wesson model 1917. This is called a Halfmoon front sight. Just for sake of argument, I just wanted to show you the difference. But it's still a fixed type of sight. Then we have, this is a model 1889 38 double action Smith & Wesson, nickel plated. As you can see, it's seen better days. There's a little U right here in the middle of the top strap that you line up with the Halfmoon front sight. And again, it's a fixed kind of sight. I just wanted to show you some differences in handguns. Now, the other type of sight that you'll see listed primarily is an adjustable sight. For the first example, we have a Ruger Blackhawk. And what makes these adjustable is they're adjustable for both windage and elevation by means of a screwdriver. If you look, you'll see a tiny screw right there that will raise and lower this rear sight, enabling you to adjust the bullet up and down for impact. There's also a screw on the side to adjust your windage side to side. So again, that's an adjustable sight on the MyGunValues website. And again, just for another example, we have a fully adjustable sight. This happens to be on a Smith & Wesson Airlight. Again, screw right there to adjust the up and down, screw in the side to adjust the windage side to side. Those are primarily the types of sights listed on our website for handguns. Obviously, there are some handguns that come with scopes. There are some early handguns that didn't have any sights whatsoever. And there are handguns that come with Peep sights. But for all intents and purposes, 90% of the handguns listed will have one of those two kinds of sights. Now on rifles, I got some different examples. Rifles we approached a little bit differently. Most rifle sights have some means of adjustment. So adjustable and fixed was not a really good way to approach this. What we did approach is drilled and tapped, which is a rifle that does not have any open sights on the barrel whatsoever. For the sake of discussion, we'll discuss this Savage rifle. There are no sights, as you can see the barrel. There is no provision for any kind of sights whatsoever. These are used with scopes primarily. Again, that's going to be a none. When you look for a sight on the sight, this is going to be a none. That's most modern rifles today are built to accommodate scopes. Since the scope was not usually supplied as original equipment, we only list scope as a choice when the manufacturer supplied the scope with the rifle. Now the older original kind of sights are a buckhorn kind of sight or an open, and you'll notice that there's a little blade in there and you can sight through to the front sight. And this one actually happens to be adjustable by means of a screw right there. And in this case, it's kind of a 2-for-1 situation. This sight will flip down. So if you see it listed in the special notes with a flip up or flip down sight, that's that kind of sight right there. This one's also been fitted with a receiver peep sight. Now the reason it's called a receiver sight, it's mounted to the receiver. Okay, if it was a tang peep sight, it would be mounted back here to the tang, and I have an example of that a little later on. Here we have a peep sight, and you can line up the little aperture hole with the front sight, and that's how you sight them. And this one, if you flip up that sight, they're in each other's way. But that's the way that one was modified. Now I have here an example of a military style sight. It's also, if you look here, it's a hooded. When you see them listed in special notes, it's a hooded front sight. They've got a hood over them. Usually there's a hole on top of the hood to let light into the sight post. But that's a hooded front sight. Again, now these are going to be called open sights. And this one is a ladder type or an elevated type sight by pushing it on the two sides. But again, it's an open sight because you sight down this little groove, the little post right there. Another type of open sight we have here, this is on a Savage 99. Kind of looks like rabbit ears. This one doesn't flip down. You can see it's dovetailed into the piece right here. Now this particular one, there's supposed to be a little elevator under there that's missing. I've been looking for one. I will find one eventually. But that again is another kind of open sight. Lastly, we have the receiver mounted peep sight. This is a Winchester Model 94 rifle, happens to be chambered in 30-30. You can see the dovetail right there, where it used to have a sight similar to the one I just showed you on the Savage. Somebody has changed this one to a tang mounted peep sight. See it mounted on the tang of the rifle. It flips down. In case this sight was still here and you could see it, flips up, and again that's a peep sight. On this model, to see through it, the hammer has to be back because the hammer's in the way otherwise. I have checked all these to make sure they're unloaded before I started this video. These are the basic type of rifle sights you will see. Now, peep sights, we did not differentiate between tang mounted and receiver. And again, they are only listed on our site if they came that way from the manufacturer originally. We wanted to do that to clear up any confusion, and hopefully that helps you determine which sites are which for the purposes of looking up your values on our site. And we thank you for watching. Have a good day.